tell me more about what you think on from being
Yeah.
colonized to now the decolonization and what tribes are doing and what you're
Yeah.
doing personally.
I believe that everything happens for a reason. And so even though the Native American people were colonized, I believe that it was because we needed to see our true power. You live in something for so long and in a good way, right? Like these people, they were nomadic and they chased buffalo and they did all these beautiful things and they had medicine bundles and everything. And I know that they were grateful for the way that they were living. But sometimes universe, God, creator, the great mystery, whatever it is, it has a plan for us. And sometimes that plan is knocking us down. And so by no means do I think colonization is a good thing, but I like to see the good parts of things. I like to see the positivity in things. And so if we were never put in that place, would we truly know our power now as the generation that I'm in? You know, would it have been something that we would have taken for granted, which we were so grateful, it's hard to think that we might have taken it for granted. But there's something beautiful in us learning about our ancestors and trying to make it work in a digital world like we have right now. There's something really beautiful about that, and it's harder, and it's testing of my generation's spirit. And we've had to take generational trauma from boarding schools, from forts, from massacres, from battles, from wronged treaties. We've had to do so much to get to where we are today, to just represent ourselves, to be the first actors to get awards, to be the first Native American pilot of their region, to be able to go out and to get a degree. All of these different things, or just be a good parent to your children. We have to work harder to do all of that and to keep ourselves together. And now when we go to a powwow and when we dance together, it's this feeling of a long time ago we used to have war dances. And we used to have these beautiful moments where we would celebrate together as a tribe in a camp. And we did them so often that now when we're going to a powwow and we're dancing with our people to the drum, it almost kind of feels like it might be more real, because we have to fight so hard to get back to where we came from. So there's some kind of medicine, there's some kind of power behind us bringing ourselves back from the brink of extinction. And to consciously do that in my generation and the generations before me that taught that, and then the generations that I'll teach, it's beautiful. And so the other tribes around us, they're all fighting just as hard, and we're all fighting so hard that there's almost no line anymore for animosity, and we no longer are fighting over the same territory. We're all fighting for the same feeling, and that's to be connected to ourselves, to be connected to where we came from. And so we think about all these things, and it's beautiful to think that decolonization is happening all around us. And projects like this is how decolonization happens. It's by us telling our own stories and by not allowing others to tell our stories. And we're in a totally different place right now than we've ever been, where either we blend the past with the future and become a present culture, or we lose everything and don't know who we're going to be. And so you have a lot of tribes and things like that that are reintroducing buffalo, that are doing cultural programs, that are trying to get children to speak their language by creating apps on phones. So we're all effectively working together now to try and tell our own story to our own people. And so I think that that's the biggest beautiful thing that happened about colonization, is that we now know what we had and we want it more than I think we wanted it then, because it was our way of life, all we knew. And now we know something different, and those who are trying to turn back to the decolonized ways, to the ways before we were put on reservations, those individuals, they want it more than anybody's ever wanted it, because they have to fight so hard against all these other things to become it. And so I think that that might have been universe's plan for us, was to no longer fight each other, but to fight for who we are.